Yeah, I feel like so many people nowadays are going to Pinterest, just seeing what they like on Pinterest and then being like, that's what I want.
Exactly.
That's not how this works.
Which I love Pinterest for inspiration, but what makes a business is the story and mission behind it, and you're the only one who has that. We're your hosts, Sahara Embry
And Michaela Bedoyan. From working corporate 9-to-5s to running $1 million companies,
we're bringing you the inside scoop of what it takes to start and scale your business.
We're keeping things real, raw, and unfiltered.
This is the Rise and Refine podcast. Welcome back
to the Rise and Refine podcast.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, y'all. We're going to be diving into a topic that we just get asked a lot of questions about, and that is when you should actually be updating your brand, your branding for your business, or maybe it's a personal brand, and when you've outgrown it. What are those signs? So we're going to be deep diving into that today. We're going to try to keep this pretty short because I feel like you either know or you don't know if you've outgrown your brand, and so it shouldn't be an elaborate conversation, but we have a lot of different points that we can help you start to understand where you're at in your business.
Well, I think a lot of people ask us, we've had people come to us before too, and they're like, they want to rebrand, but then we dive into what they already have and they just got it done a year ago. And not much has changed. And we're almost like, well, why? You know, there's not anything wrong with this.
Yes.
Like it's just now getting recognized. Like people will be like, you know, I'm known as this color and now I want to do this. It's like, well, why are you changing already? You just got this a year ago.
Right. Is this just a personal preference for you, or is this actually working for your brand? Like, is it because your target audience isn't resonating with it? You're attracting the wrong people? Or is it just you sincerely just don't like this one specific color?
About it, and now you want to change the whole thing.
And that's when you should not rebrand.
Yes, 100%. But then some people also say, well, why do I need to rebrand?
Right.
Like that's not necessary. Like I paid for this logo like 5 years ago. And it's like, well, one, branding has changed a lot. Things look different now. But if you think about even McDonald's and Coca-Cola, while they may not have done a complete revamp, they have changed their branding. It has grown and adjusted to them as a company and a business. So it is necessary to go through rebrands.
Yes.
I think, how often would you say?
It just depends on how fast your business is growing, the face of your business, your target audience. I would say, you know, every 3 to 5 years, you should look at a refresh in some sort of way. And if your business has blown up, if there's been maybe there's been a huge pivot, maybe it feels like your brand is almost like a beginner and it doesn't fit where your business has grown into or has grown into, then that is a great reason to look into rebranding in some capacity. It doesn't mean that you have to scrap every single thing that you've created.
Yeah, you're always going to keep elements of the original thing you created, right?
Yeah.
Whether that's a color or a font. I mean, you're probably going to take a piece of something with you every time you rebrand.
Right, pretty much. And I mean, there's certain times where you want to just scrap the whole thing. You want to start fresh because maybe you're a personal brand and you're growing into a actual physical business. You've grown outside of just you working for yourself, and now you have 5-10 different employees, and you don't want your name to be tied to it. You want it to be something that an entire team can get behind. And that's what just happened with one of our recent clients, AW Development. It was Nick Williams. He was a personal brand in terms of being a very prominent name in the residential construction and development scene out in Los Angeles. And he wanted to take his personal brand. He had built it up in a way that it didn't.
He was known for him.
Yeah, it didn't serve him anymore. He had a large team, and so he had a lot of different subcontractors and a lot of connections and vendors and things like that. And so he needed to basically shift it and make his personal brand, turn it into a company, AW Development Co.
Yeah.
And so we helped walk him through that transition, and we did have to scrap everything, right? We had to break it all down to the studs and rip everything up and then start fresh because he was working from himself. It was what he liked. It was what attracted him. It didn't focus on the big picture. It wasn't based on his target audience. It wasn't based on the location, the clients he was wanting to serve.
Changed.
Yeah, everything changed. And so that's where we definitely had to rip it down to the studs.
So there's a lot of reasons for rebrands and stuff. And I think some people are not very self-aware too of like changes and how your business grows and stuff where they don't think they need a rebrand, but then they're like, well, I'm not growing or I'm stuck and I'm not reaching the audience that I want to reach. I know we had a videographer, but she said that she was starting to attract more of a luxury client. That's what she's going after with the work that she puts in,
Right.
but she doesn't feel like her brand is bringing her those luxury clients who want a very specific type of video at their wedding.
Yeah.
And she felt
She
like
had
it
a
had to do
very
with it.
boho vibe, almost like
boho, yeah.
little Western, a little,
Yeah,
it
complete
was
opposite of her actual
complete
work.
opposite.
Yes.
Because she doesn't even call herself a videographer. She calls herself a filmmaker.
Yes.
And so she's
Yes.
putting herself and positioning herself an entirely different price point.
Mhm.
And by doing so, obviously, you're wanting to attract a certain clientele, but she wasn't getting there because her brand looked a certain way.
Yes.
And so we stepped in and helped walk her through that transition.
Revamped it to more of the clients that she was wanting and already getting and what her editing and her style attracted to.
Yeah. And now her brand and her website reflect the quality of the work that she's putting out.
One thing I was going to bring up too is like we could use Copywriting Mama as an example too. I think that a lot of people don't want to spend the money on a rebrand because they think, well, people recognize me for this. They
Right.
know me for this. Like, I don't want to change that. Like, that's going to hurt my business. But doing a smart rebrand and the right way with the right person can actually completely change your business and help you grow. Like for her, as an example, she was able to start charging more for prices, book up her calendar because she dialed
4x'd her profit.
Yes.
After we launched her website.
Yes.
It was insane.
She did a complete rebrand, right?
Yeah. I mean, she personally worked on her brand identity because she already had something that was kind of
That's
set in
right.
stone.
And you just
kind of just
smoothed
walked
it.
yeah. We just kind of
Yeah.
worked together with that. But then I completely overhauled her website. She had
Yes.
worked with a
You did
beginner website.
finalize her brand too. Like to give you credit
little
there.
bit, yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's a good example of like you didn't just start from scratch. You fine-tuned her brand a little bit and put your finishing touches on it while adding a new website and changing that branding. So that's a good example of her who you didn't have to start from scratch.
Right, exactly. Because she already had a very strong brand identity in place. She's she's a copywriter. And
Yeah.
so she already knew her brand
Yeah.
messaging. She knew her target audience. She knew what she was going after. She needed help to visually communicate that.
Yeah.
And so with the website specifically, it completely changed her business. It changed the face of her business, and she was able to 4x her profit. And she has worked with so many amazing clients who have come from that specific transition. So it's been very, very neat. But I do want to just touch on a few of the signs here. I just have a list so I wouldn't forget anything.
I think it's helpful that we gave them so many examples. 'Cause there's a fear. I've talked to so many people who are like, well, I just don't want to change anything because that could hurt my business. Like people won't recognize me. It's like, it can really help you grow.
It definitely can. And sometimes your brand just simply isn't evolving with you.
Yeah.
Like it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And so let's just touch on the signs really quickly on when you've outgrown your brand.
Yes.
So the first is your offers have evolved, but your brand hasn't. Your visuals feel too beginner or they don't reflect your current price point. That's a big one.
That is a big one.
You're attracting the wrong audience or inquiries that no longer align with you, your business, the way you want your business to move. You feel low-key embarrassed to send people to your site or
We've
to your
heard that
Instagram.
so many times.
Copywriting Mama, she's a perfect example of
Yeah.
that. She hated sending her website out to people.
She didn't feel confident because she knew
No.
it wasn't her.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a true reflection of her, the work that
Yeah.
she felt like she was putting out there.
Yeah.
You've had a major mindset or business shift and your brand feels like a past version of you. That's a huge one.
That's a huge
we
one.
just redid our website because
it-
our website
yeah.
felt like a past version of us.
Yeah.
It becomes hard to create content because the visuals no longer inspire you.
That's a good
So
one.
your content, like your brand identity in and of itself. I mean, we're talking your font suite, your
Mhm.
logo suite, your color palette, any brand illustrations, brand assets that all fall in line with your brand identity. It translates to your visual identity, which is everything that impacts your brand. So your content,
Yeah.
what you're putting out there, your emails, your website, all of that jazz. And if you aren't sound in what your brand identity is, it's going to be so much harder to create content that, yes, looks good, but
It's
also
cohesive,
feels like you.
consistent. It
Yes.
showcases your business. Like we've had several episodes on brand identity.
Yeah.
But you're right. If like, I felt that with Embry Group. That's what I was talking to you right before we got started with this. It's
Yeah.
like for Embry Group, it also comes back to where you're at day one in your business. You probably cannot, and I hate to say this, but this is the honest truth, raw truth. You can't afford
Yeah.
the true brand identity you want day one. So like day one, my Embry Group logo looked nothing like it does now, but we kept elements of it to still stay consistent with everything else in terms of colors and stuff. We just expand it and we completely revamped the logo.
Right.
And it only helped us grow, but I did hold on to the Embry Group logo a little bit because we are already known for our marketing.
Yeah.
We were known for what it looked like. And it wasn't that it was bad. It was good at the time.
Right.
But we just evolved and had to step it up. And I knew it was time to do that. And I waited, I think I waited 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, you did.
Recently did Embry Group. So I think 4 years before I did.
We completed it last year.
Yeah. Because another mistake I want you to touch on is people who change their branding too much. Because if I would have done it after a year, I think it would have affected my business, although I didn't love it, a lot differently
Yeah.
than it is now.
Yeah, because you were constantly swapping out colors, fonts, none of your
Yes.
graphics look the same.
Yes.
And Embry Group is really known for their marketing. Their marketing efforts have always been very top tier ever since day one
Yeah.
of opening the real estate team. And so if you would have been very hodgepodge on social media, especially, I feel like it would have
Yeah.
deterred a lot of
It would have. We did it at
even
the
just
right
growing your
timing.
team with realtors.
Yeah, we actually did it slower because do you remember I don't know if you know this, but my very first color was like a light blue color palette.
Oh no, I don't.
If you
know
go
that.
back on Instagram, we were very light blue, but I kept the same logo and I did a slow change with going to my neutral colors, just black and white, like year 2 or 3.
Oh, interesting.
And
I
then
didn't know
year
that.
4 is when I did the complete revamp.
Huh. Okay. Well, there
So
you go.
I did a slow evolve, but I still stuck to the same logo. I just,
right.
yeah, I
Right.
didn't dive into the colors the correct way the first time.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And I have one more to touch on, one more sign that you've outgrown your brand. And that is you avoid doing the visibility efforts because the brand feels off. So we're
Yeah.
talking pitching your business. We're talking launching that one thing, getting on stories. Maybe you have a podcast, shooting an episode because your brand feels so off because it's so inconsistent. You aren't in love with it. It's not, and there's going to be times where you're not in love with your brand.
Yeah.
Brutally honest right now, our RM in our circle, not a huge fan of it.
Really?
I want to shift it up. Like I want to mess with it. But
Yeah.
I know that would do us a disservice because that
would.
is a personal interest of mine.
Yeah.
It doesn't help us grow because
We're
there
still
is
too
no
new to change it.
well, there's no part in that actually is backed by we're not attracting our target audience. We have made shifts in our business, but we've pivoted other areas of our business
Yeah.
to grow. Our brand identity is so solid and strong. We are recognized for it and we are known for it. It would be stupid of me to change that.
Yeah, just
right?
because
But
you
just
may
because
not
I
like
don't
it.
like it doesn't mean that we need to change something.
Yeah.
So I say that all to say that's the last one. You avoid doing the visibility efforts because the brand feels off.
Yeah.
So it's more so of just like, we see clients come to us pretty often and say like, I don't hate my brand, but I just feel like I'm not connected to it anymore.
Yeah.
If you're a personal brand, and I want to drive this point home really quickly. If you are a personal brand, your brand should be an extension of who you are. If you are a business and you are employing other people and you know that you are building something that you want to grow into something that can house 10, 20, 100 people and employ and pour into so many other people, give them opportunities, whatever it is, leave a legacy.
Yeah.
Your brand is not about you at all. It is about your target audience. It is about the area that you live in. It is about the people that you are trying to reach, the impact that you are trying to have. It is about the bigger why
not
behind
about-
what you're
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
It has nothing to do with your personal interests.
Yeah.
For Sahara and I, obviously, we are very, very, very involved in Refined. We will always be very involved in Refined. But on stories, I am quote unquote the face of Refined. That is a personal choice. I show the behind the scenes of my day to day. That's where all of that lives. But we've recently had to take a pivot in our content from shifting it so much about me specifically, because we've had to shift of like, okay, we are growing Refined out from just the two of us.
Yeah.
It is becoming something larger than the two of us. So we need to
about
shift
us as
our
individuals.
content.
It's about the
Exactly.
business.
We need to shift our content to that bigger vision. And that bigger vision is the two of us side by side in this, helping other women and empower other women in the ways to help them grow their businesses.
Yeah. So we're shifting our own branding, our own messaging and what we post to reflect that, because we know it's necessary.
But another point that we can touch on is like how powerful a website, or a good website, I should say,
And
and
website
a
is
good
part of your
visual
branding.
brand
So
can
important.
actually empower you as the business
Yeah.
owner to show up confidently in your work.
It still blows my mind that some people don't want to invest in a good website, because
Yeah.
I'm like, everything's digital nowadays.
It's a free
Yeah,
billboard.
not only that, but first it starts with your social media, and that's where people find you first a lot of times, and they're going to
For
look
sure.
at that as like your resume and who you are, what you do, to see if they like you. Then your
Right.
website is your CTA, it's your call to action, is where people go. It's where you're trying to convert them from just looking at you and liking you to actually working with you or investing in something in your business, buying a product, whatever it is that you do.
Right.
Your website is what is going to help create those sales, that services, those business, the getting more business. So I just blows my mind that people don't invest in a website.
Your website should literally be built to convert a viewer
Yes.
into a solid lead.
Yes.
That is the whole
100%.
point of your website. It is a
Yes.
digital billboard. It is free advertising for you, because as soon as somebody goes from your social media accounts, where do you think they're going to click to?
Exactly.
They're going to go to your website. They're going to look and do a deep dive and see if you're actually worth their time.
Yeah.
Because they are vetting you before they even get through the front door.
Yeah.
And so
it does validate you as a business.
It does.
I look up, like, if I'm going to work with anyone, I look at their website, because I want to know, are they willing to invest in their own business? And I use their website as like their actual portfolio in a way.
Yeah,
like,
most definitely.
Yeah, what they did and what it looks like, especially if you're going to hire for branding
Yeah.
and web design, you're going to look at their portfolio. You're going to
Most
be like,
definitely.
do I like what they do and how they do it?
And you don't need an elaborate 8-10 page website. If you are solely starting out, build yourself a solid one pager. Just get yourself a landing page ready to go. Have a link in your bio to that landing page. Have all the information somebody could possibly need to want to work with you or to answer any immediate questions. The who you are, what you do, where you're located, and why you do what you do. Answer those questions and you'll be set to rock. And then when you actually have the money to invest into a web developer, do it. Make the investment.
It's
It will
so
be
worth
worth it. Do
It's
your
so
research
worth
on
it.
that front too, because there are a lot of people who are just diving into web design right now. It's kind of a fad career at this point, which is totally fine. That's awesome. Do what you want to do. Just dive into the portfolios. Make sure that you're actually purchasing the work that you want.
Yes. And I want to talk, because this happened to me recently, actually, at Venture Haven.
Oh, really?
But I recently, I was using ChatGPT to evaluate Venture Haven and see like how things we could improve and stuff. And so then I started looking at the websites of other property management companies. And I was like, dang, we look really good.
Oh,
And
yeah?
I did it. I wanted to look and do that research because we had an investor who said, I chose to work with you guys because y'all actually had a good website. Like
Oh,
I
wow.
actually could see what you did, why you did it, and reaching out. And I actually think Venture Haven needs a small revamp on their website because it's actually like 4 years old and we've changed so much. That's
Yeah.
like day one. Like I'm pretty sure it probably says on there we manage like 50 properties. Now we do over 300.
Oh my
Like we
gosh.
need to update it. But that was recent that he said that.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm working with you. So we just scored a new client without the girls even having to convince them because he saw our website and was sold by that.
That's
so
awesome.
people
And that's
do
exactly
care.
what your website should be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And mine's not even, in my opinion, like the most amazing website, but
Yeah.
it's solid and it matches our brand and and I invested in it in the start.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you immediately stop second guessing if the website's actually doing its job.
Yeah.
Because you aren't over Venture Haven 24/7.
No,
You
no.
have an entire team that runs that
Yes.
company by itself
Yes.
completely. And so it's kind of like a load off your shoulders. Like, okay, I know I made the investment
Mhm.
into this. It's obviously making a
Mhm.
return. It's
It didn't make a return day one either.
no. It
That's
takes
it.
time.
It takes time.
But it's converting the clients and these
Yeah.
high ticket,
Mhm.
high level investors now to where you don't even have to lift a finger and these
And they're
leads
just
are
coming in.
consistently pouring in.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny because people don't want to invest on the front end. Do you think that people want to change their brand because they're not getting fast results from it? Like, because I feel like Copywriting Mama was fast results.
Yeah.
And I
hers
feel
were
like
very
that's not
fast.
normal. Like, I feel
No.
like for Embry Group and Venture Haven, like we now on Embry Group get so many organic leads a day because it's
wow.
grown so much over time.
Yeah.
But I feel like so many people change their branding because they're like, you know what? I just spent all this money. I just changed it. It must be because of this color. It must be because of this font. Like I haven't gotten
Yeah.
a lead in 6 months. I need to change it again. Do you think that happens a lot?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we live in such a microwave society, and I say that because it's like you can put something in the microwave, it's heated it up, you have a full meal in 30 seconds. You know what I mean?
You could go ChatGPT and create a logo now.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
crazy
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
There's so many tools out there, and it's like you can scroll Pinterest. And I was just actually talking with a different business owner on Instagram the other day, and she was like, yeah, I feel like so many people nowadays are going to Pinterest, just seeing what they like on Pinterest and then being like, that's what I want.
Exactly. They
That's
are.
not how this works.
That's not you. That's not your business. It's good to
That
get
means
inspiration.
nothing to
Yes.
you, and that's literally copying somebody else's
Yeah.
work.
Which I love Pinterest for inspiration, but you still
Yeah.
have to, what makes a business is the story and mission behind it. And you're the only one who has that and nobody else does.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know why people just don't want to invest in their website or brand. I'm like, it's going to like
Because
grow
it is
you.
an investment.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like you choose to invest in other areas of your business that may or may not pay off. What is it about like branding and websites and all that people don't want to? I think it's more of well, it's good enough. Like I'm here right now. It's gotten me here so far. Like, why would I rebrand? Like it's good enough. I think they
Yeah.
get in that mindset.
What you invest into your business, you're going to reap
Yes.
eventually.
Yeah,
might-
eventually.
It's going to take seed time.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything in life, no matter what it is, takes time
Yeah.
to take root, to grow, and then to harvest.
Yes.
It's nothing in life is instantaneous. That is
No,
worth it.
No. We've been experiencing that ourselves the past few months. And I
Yeah.
told you that. I was like, look, it's down right now. It's called grind time.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to work harder right now than you ever will, but
Yep.
you're going to see less results, make less money, and you're going to feel like all your work is not paying off.
Right.
In reality, you're just grinding so that in 6 months from now, the work is going to pay off and you do reap the rewards and get those benefits from what you were doing 6 months ago that you don't remember.
Exactly.
And that's the grind time when you really get into it.
Exactly. So
So-
the time, the money, the energy that you pour into your business, you're going to reap.
Yes.
So if you are taking the shortcut, the cheap route, and you are just sending it off to Fiverr, paying some dude $20 to create something, that's what you're downloading. That's
Who's
what
probably
you're creating.
using ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Just
it's
plug in
like-
what you want.
Again, what you pour into your
Mhm.
business, you are going to reap. So if you pour the time, energy, and money into your business, then inevitably that's going to come back to
Mhm.
you tenfold.
Yep.
And that's what, like, if you need that reminder, then this can be it for you.
Yeah.
But it's worth the investment. It's worth channeling a little bit more energy, time up front. It's worth making an investment a quarter.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't have to be a huge chunk. Maybe it's a business coach. You have no idea what you're doing and you're just trying to make it. Invest in a business coach. Don't worry about your branding yet. Like you need to know how to keep your doors open first.
Yes.
And
Step
then,
one.
yeah, exactly. And then it's like, okay, maybe you can invest in your messaging,
Yeah.
figuring out your brand messaging, what that's going to look like, what are your keywords that you need to be using. After you do all of that, then it would be time to actually invest in brand and web design. And we even touch on actually building out your messaging as a brand, trying to figure out exactly where you should be positioned, helping you navigate that entire process, especially if you've outgrown your brand so much to where you are just in an entirely different season. Your business has grown, you have grown as an individual, you have so many different offers, and sometimes you just feel lost in everything, and it doesn't necessarily makes your old brand doesn't make nearly as much sense as it used to.
Just doesn't feel like you, and you're not enjoying what you're putting out there.
Yeah. So just keep in mind, rebranding does not mean always starting over. You're going to have pieces of your brand that are probably going to carry with you in some form.
Like an example, easy one.
Yeah.
Orange will always stay with us.
Yeah, we
in
will
some
always
way,
have orange.
will always be our color. And we know that even if we completely redid the logo, we know that we would bring that into whatever we're going to do next.
Yep.
And because that's part of us and who we are. So I would say, like, don't change something that's truly a part of you or your brand. Just know how to adjust and grow it from there. But some people can have a logo for a couple years and need to start from scratch. I mean, we've done that for several clients.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
And so we just want to wrap it up with how to know when it's actually time to invest in that rebrand, refresh. The first is you're holding yourself back because the brand no longer fits.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Like if there's things you can't do, if it just, I don't know, it's hard to almost put words on what we're saying with that, because I feel like for me, it was a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like it holds you back, like in terms of like a mental block.
Because you don't want to actually create a new product or a new
No.
service, or like you don't want to launch
You're
anything
not
because you know that
Proud of it.
exactly. Yeah. There's no confidence in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
If you don't feel confident in sending someone something, you don't love the way it looks, the way it feels, what it says, what it represents, then I think that is something that you need to realize is a feeling of, okay, I need to work on this. I probably do
Yes.
need to rebrand because I'm sending this
Yes.
out. I don't love it. I don't like it. I don't feel excited about it anymore. And I think it's more of a feeling, and that's kind of on you to decide.
Most definitely. And again, make sure if it's going back to you as a personal brand, it doesn't feel like you anymore. You've grown as a person. You've kind of shifted in your own personal direction. Then your personal brand should be a reflection of you. If it's a business, make sure that is rooted in specifically in something within the business. It's not just a personal preference.
And what your clients like with the business.
Yes.
Because we've had people too who will be like, well, I don't really like the way that this looks, but all my clients know me for it.
Right.
They all know me for this. It's like, well, is that working for you? And it's just a you thing? Because if it's a business and you're getting clients from something specific in your brand, don't change it.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Like maybe,
why would you strip away the
yes.
one identifying factor that is helping you gain clients?
Yeah. Like you
Because
may
you are
hit orange one day,
Yeah.
but that's what gains us clients. And so we couldn't change
Not
it.
that alone, but yes.
A lot of it. Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people recognize us, which
Right.
helps us gain
Brand
clients.
recognition.
Yes.
Exactly.
And so we wouldn't change it even if she decided one day, I don't like orange anymore.
Don't think that's going to happen. It's become a part of my personality at this
Yes,
point.
it has.
But the second being, you're ready to raise your prices or expand your offers. And if your brand no longer fits into that mold, it cannot grow with you. Maybe you don't have the brand assets for it to grow with you into those offers. We're talking about brand illustrations, brand patterns, and expanded visual identity. Then that would be an opportunity for you to rebrand.
Yeah.
A third, you want to be seen as a go-to, not just another option. We're seeing a very neutral beige pandemic everywhere you go on social media.
I have played.
Sahara definitely has played a part to that. But I feel like right now on social media, it's like you scroll, everything looks the exact same. Everybody's doing the same CapCut fonts. Everybody is editing in the same way. And it's like, how do you find that originality? But it starts with your brand. There has to be some personality in your brand. If you are just neutral all the way through, that is you to a T, then that's part of you. That's going to exude in your content. You're going to attract the right people because it's part of your personality.
But do it because you like it and you love it.
Yeah.
Not because everybody else is doing it.
Exactly.
Like there's so many people who have like copied other brands or they rebrand it because they're like, oh, this brand grew so fast. Maybe it's because they did this. So I need to do that.
Right.
That's not what it means. That's maybe because that's what they like. That's what their passion was.
Right.
That's what they should do.
Right. The fourth being you need your brand to do some of the heavy lifting when you can't be online 24/7. We aren't robots. You can't be present every single time. You can't jump online at the exact moment somebody sends you a DM to reply. But the point of this all being, you need to stay top of mind. And how do you do that? You have to have a recognizable brand. We have a couple people actually, but there's one that's very consistent. She every single time she sees something orange and like our orange, like right here, if you're watching on YouTube, she sends it to us. She DMs us the link and is like, y'all need this every single time.
Really?
Yes, it is hilarious. And she has great style. So what she sends is always super cute. But it's so funny because she sees orange. We are not that close at all. Like, I don't think
But she thinks of us.
But she immediately thinks of us and sends it. And so be recognizable. You want that brand recognition. And then the last being there's just a return on investment in brand confidence. It's something that you can't just organically grow.
Yeah.
It's not something that it's like, I feel like when you first start a business, it's not something that can be immediately measured. You have to learn how to speak. You have to learn what to look like. If you
have to learn how to use your brand. Day one looks
exactly.
different than day 500.
Exactly. And there's so many times where I think people get so locked in and focused on like, okay, well, me personally as a business, like me personally, I don't dress up in bright colors every single day. If you are going online and you are going to be posting something brand specific and your brand is bright and bold, should you be dressed in neutrals every single time? No. You should dress to look the part. You should dress up like your brand. You should have this brand voice. Like, I don't go on stories and I'm like, yeah, I have this today and I have that. And like, I just don't really want to do. Nobody wants to listen to that. So those are the 5 times that I would say personally are
to look for if it's
to look
time
for
to rebrand.
to invest in a rebrand.
Yes. And just a final plug, like if you do want to invest in a rebrand or a website, we would love to help you because that's Michaela's specialty.
That's what we do.
So we would love to be part of that. But it is very cool to get to help. Most businesses where our brand is, we typically work with a business that's already a business that has already had a logo before and stuff. So we deal with rebranding somebody every single day.
Most definitely. So I hope you guys gleaned something from this episode. We would love for you to like and follow us. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, on YouTube if you want to watch us live and see what we actually look like. But you can follow us at Rise and Refine Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Or if you want to check us out on Refine Marketing with the Brand and Web Design Studio, you can find us at Refine Marketing _.
Yeah.
But we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Please leave us a comment, send us a DM if you have any other further questions on rebranding, what that looks like, working with us even. And we hope that you guys have a lovely Monday.
See you next Monday.